Judging someone is a humanely mistake everyone makes, whether it's your clothes or the house you live in. But can you imagine being judged by your race? That is a very inhuman thing to do. Our race is the only part of us we cannot change. It is what defines us. The public should not stand and watch, but help those by taking immediate action if some people in a particular race purposely diminish those in another race. Racism should be stopped because we are all equal human beings. It has already been declared by the United Nations in their Universal Declaration of Human Rights. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. In another section it claims, no one shall be subjected to torture, to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Racism can be expressed in many ways, including novels. In the novel Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys, right from the start there's an immediate action caused by the racism of the NKVD, which are Soviet officers, where Lena and her family are taken hostage and brought away from everyone they know and love. Their story starts in Kaunas, Lithuania, where Lena and her family live in a comfortable life until the NKVD barges in and separates her family to be put on a cold, dirty train. Most important aspect to the story is the racism of the Soviet Union towards different ethnic races. Racism has always been prevalent, but Hitler is one of the main innovators of discrimination of a race. One can be subjected to racism as harshly as being put into a concentration camp or simply as a small unkind comment. Lena deals with a lot of racism throughout the story. An example of a hurtful racist comment is written in a recent article written about South Africa on USA Today. Many South Africans stand up for racism and their civil rights as they crowd onto a huge beach after a couple white people post racist remarks on social media, including Penny Sparrow, who calls the South Africans monkeys by causing overcrowding on the beaches. This causes a huge problem throughout South Africa. After this event, the governing African National Congress declares it wants to jail those who make comments glorifying apartheid. During apartheid, the best beaches were only allowed to be used by the white people, and the African National Congress does not want that back. While they cannot jail Sparrow, now that both ANC and DA have filed criminal charges against Sparrow and hope to deal with others as well. After all the racism and trials we have been through, people still do not know how to live without it. As racism is becoming a bigger deal in today's world, the more awareness this problem gets, the more we can help stop it. Although large-scale racism like concentration camps have been reduced, racism has come up in other ways like social media, which has become a big part of our generation. Many people don't understand what it's like to be judged by your race, especially for white people in America. Many people are harmed every day by cruel racism jokes. Whether you're Jewish, black, or white, we are all created equal human beings. We've made it past Hitler, but can we make it past racism for good? On Fox News in another very recent article, there is another attack on Christianity which is also considered racism. In Pakistan on Easter Sunday, many Christians, which only count for 2% of the mostly Muslim country, and others were killed by a suicide bomber. Asanullah Ansan, who has sworn allegiance to ISIS, told the Associated Press late Sunday that the suicide bomber deliberately targeted Christians. Because of this racist crime, many Muslims had to suffer as well. Even as the group was targeting Christians, only 14 of the bodies had been identified as Christians, and the others Muslim or not identified. The hate to kill even your own people for something you believe in is very bad. It is never good to kill someone or commit terrorist acts because of racism, but then again it has been going on for centuries. Hopefully, with the achievements of many anti-racism organizations, one day we can come to a conclusion on how to reduce many of the deaths in the world. Today we are still very far away from a solution to stop it for good, but we have come so far that there is still hope. For example, we have already gotten past white supremacy in schools, beaches, and even slavery in America and in most other countries. This is because of the defense of black and white people helping to make the world a better place for everybody. Martin Luther King was a huge success in reducing racism in America. He claims that he has a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Because of his defense of the black community with speeches, his dream became a reality in school, sports, and politics. But the truth is racism still exists. An example of racism still existing in America today is on an article written by New York Times. 3 black students from the University of Albany were attacked by a group of white men who used insults and racial slurs while innocents sat quietly by. Many people later rallied at the school in protest, but what do you think would have happened if a bystander on the bus stood up and said something? If someone would have stopped these racist men, those ladies would have not been hurt by the comments used on the bus, and there would not be heavy riding in Albany. Bystanders do have a choice at one point to stop something and cause a great impact, or walk by as nothing had happened. This gives bystanders a great power they can use to help or hurt our society. All racism can't be stopped, but it can be put to an end immediately with the help of an innocent bystander. That is one possible solution of many that can help reduce racism. Another possible solution to end racism is mentioned in an article by Cambridge University. This article explains that racism is learned at childhood. Children are born ignorant. They don't understand much at birth. They cannot formulate words or understand them. Then parents begin the infusion of ideologies, teachings, nurturing that stabilizes the children as they grow. This relates to racism because many parents are the causes of their children growing up to become racists. If parents even give the slightest example of a difference between their race and another, a child will see this and end up doing the same. Of course, they will ask questions on the difference of their skin color, but parents need to research a good explanation for a child so that they will grow up not seeing a difference between races. People in other races are just like you and I, but if we continue to discriminate and make racist remarks, we will never be able to have a fair and equal society. People come to America seeking a free and equal society. If we cannot promise them that, then we are not better than most other countries. Racism can be reduced if a bystander were to stand up to someone being racist. Both you and I can help stop racism now. Tweet about it on your phone. Stand up for it in the hallways if you see bullying going on. Racism needs to stop, and together we can stop it. Don't be an innocent bystander. If you see racism going on, it is up to us to stop it. We don't have to wait for the government to do something. We have the power to stop it.